I was watching Cam Newton and Shannon Sharp, and I think Marcellus Wiley was on scrolling, and it's a good topic about broadcasters and podcasters and how the dynamics are, and how that rivalry and what people say. Overall, I'm more of a fan of podcasters. I don't like corporate broadcasting at all, because 9 times out of 10, they're reading off a script and they don't give you a general consensus. They give you a consensus that satisfies the corporate heads. And from a racial perspective, you really don't get the black perspective on those corporate channels because, in a day and a time where we get instant news, where we can go and drop a video midnight, whatever, we can say it from a perspective. They have to say it from a perspective that sells papers, that sells commercialization, that sells network, that sells it from a stratosphere that is for a certain demographic. And so some people may say, well, if you're a podcaster and you make monetizations and you're successful, you have to as well. Truth, however, you have more of an independence when you're not signed to a contract to be working on the ESPN plantation, on the Fox Sports plantation, on these other ones where they want to sell it in concert with the agenda. So different topics bring out different reactions. And broadcasters have to fit to a script, whereas podcasters have more flexibility. They really do. And there are some people who have podcast beefs. I don't understand it. There's no competition. There's respect for all, any content creators. Mine is always with the broadcasters on the main networks because they only cover, if you're a sports fan, you only get 4 or 5 topics. If you like music, you only get 4 or 5 topics to what fits their agenda and movies, etc. Whereas if you're a podcaster, you can explore different avenues, different vehicles, different spins, and you have a lot of topics to talk on. You're not committed commercially or contractual obligation to be limited. But I think broadcasters are envious and jealous that they'll probably say, well, podcasters didn't go to school like we did. I don't think you have to go to school to know how to articulate, to hit your points, to communicate. That's a God given skill. Now, you might work on certain forms of how you edit or how you present your said matter. I don't. All my stuff comes off top of my dome. I'm not rehearsed or nothing. What you see is what you get. I know how I'm going to articulate what my subject is. I can write it on a piece of paper and then I can go off of it. But I don't sit and analyze and get all analytical about it. And, there is no analytics to it. It's strictly the soul and the heart. So if you actually go and broadcast and you ask somebody questions, you should be able to articulate it and be as a conversation piece. You should know where you want to hit your marks and be direct about your marks. Not in a situation where you feel like you have to be manufactured and script, like you have to be cosmetic to, oh, I'm going to fit this criteria. No. And that's why podcasters connect better, I believe. The people that stand out more so are the podcasters now because they ask the questions. Broadcasters have to read those teleprompters and they have to fit the corporate suits. And a lot of it is biases all get out. You don't want to do that. You want to communicate where people feel that you're authentic. And I do feel that the podcast world is far more authentic than the broadcast world. Because news media has been bought and paid and sold for. There are things that you cannot say on regular TV or in cables or something without repercussions. And therefore, if you take on certain subjects, you don't have to always be clicks and views. People get your respect. How many of them broadcasters do you truly respect that they all program? It's like when I watch them talk about basketball and NBA all the time. They always got LeBron number 2-1. Who said that was the gospel truth? It's just like back in the day with music. They always would talk about music bands. They'd always say the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Who said that was the truth? Why can't you debate? Why can't you have so broadcasting, podcasting is about your creativity and getting your message over. And that's why more people are going towards podcasters because podcasters have more of a form and you can expand your horizons. I do believe in that. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. I'm out. Peace.